will be moderated by our very own Ms Amruta Bahulekar. Amruta, request you to come on the dais as the Chief Program Officer at Lighthouse Communities Foundation.
Emerging technology in future technology. So I would like to ask this question to all of you all. Each one of you please tell us that what are the entry-level jobs that are realistically possible for our young people to consider in their career journey in AI, in drone, in your specific areas. I would request you to start.
So at the drone sector, the most entry-level job would be a drone pilot job. So the requirements by the government are 18 years of age and having completed the 10th grade. So once you have that sort of a skill, qualification, you can get your drone pilot license done at any DGCA RPTO, that's a remote pilot training organization. So there are many across the country. There are prices as low as 25,000 to 30,000.
I personally believe
and once you get used to cell phone, they can fly a drone. But I mean, if you're very engrossed in using your cell phone and you're not going to uplift your skills of working with the drone data as well as working with the drones, then I mean, that is it. But yeah, the entry-level job would be a drone technician also, wherein you can get an ITI training done. A 6-month, 1-year ITI training can lead you to sort of become a drone technician, wherein you can be a part of drone assembly. Many companies, approximately 1,100 companies or companies in our country are currently assembling drones. So yeah, that also is another technical entry-level job, wherein yes.
Thank you. So I represent a management institute. So I'd like to talk about the application of AI. In last few years, what we have been able to see is that there is hardly any such area of life, and for that matter area of career, which is not affected because of AI. So affected in much positive way, I am saying. So earlier we used to see that most of the employment opportunity used to come for management education students. They used to come from the specialization areas like say marketing, finance, HR, operations, supply chain, so on and so forth. Under various specializations, there used to be various job profiles which become relevant. So to take an example, say marketing, there are opportunities like sales, digital marketing, as rightly said in earlier session, the branding, so on and so forth. None of these areas such which doesn't have seen application of AI in last few years. So practically all these opportunities which were also traditionally available as part of their employment opportunities are very much relevant for application of AI today. So to answer to your question, basically all the opportunities which were traditionally also available for any management graduate are also available because of the AI application. In fact, the ones who will be able to make use of AI best in their profile will be the most relevant. Okay, and that's why probably from the application perspective, not much different type of job profiles will be available, but all the job profiles which were also available earlier will be available for application of AI. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Since I come from a new university, I would speak about academics more than, because there are people from industry who will speak about the other thing, the downside of it. So we at Symbiosis have started a BTech in defense technology. As Commissioner Sir was saying, we in fact were together yesterday, work for 1 year, and then maybe get lateral entry into BTech also after working for 1 year, which is AICTE approved now. So from that standpoint, we'd say that defense technology is one field where I'll not go into the curriculum and stuff what we teach there, but that is one field where we believe that future lies there. Students are willing to actually take that up because upcoming jobs will be more. You will have more to learn. Whatever you do is going to set the trend for the future generations to come in. Point number 2 is that since before joining academia, I used to work with corporate for around 28 years. I worked with Aditya Wadhokar for 17 years. So we did a project in Pune wherein we used remote sensing to map, as Commissioner Sir was saying, you did for property tax. We did to ensure, because Ultratech Cements was a part of Aditya Wadhokar group. So we wanted to understand what new constructions are coming up so that we can sell cement to them. So we used remote sensing technology to get data from Airbus, because your Airbus satellites come over Pune every day, at least twice, morning and evening. We used to get data from them, process it, give it to people on the ground. They used to go and find out the new construction coming up. So these kind of roles are very much there, and these companies, cement companies, agri companies, your pharma companies, your companies who sell you agricultural produce, they are willing to pay you more because if you know how to use the technology. There are models developed. People from IT, of course, would know this. There are models developed. You can actually buy data from any of the remote sensing organizations and then use it at your end, start a company, get data, get the model, marry them together and create something and give it back to insurance companies, banks who are willing to recover loans. For example, you've taken a loan and you're not repaying it. You say, I have not built the house. And initially, what banks used to do, they used to send people to the site and get the information whether the house is built or not. Now, you need not go there. You can use remote sensing technology, data, and figure out the house is built or not, and then you can recover it. These are some career options which you can choose using all these technologies which are there, and Symbiosis or universities like DY Patil or others are there to provide you courses, diplomas, degrees, postgrad degrees, enable you to get into this stream. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am, your question was about entry-level jobs,
Yeah.
am I correct?
Yes.
So is it okay if I tweak your question?
Yes.
Because I belong to the area, I'm from accounts, finance, bookkeeping and audit basically. And I don't want to lie here in the public forum. There is a report by World Economic Forum and I want you to go to that particular report that is called Future of Job Reports. So wherever I do a work basically, the job, sir, Ganesh sir has already told this is generative technology. He has used the word generative, okay? But I feel that this is a disruption also. It's a disruptive in a way. And a lot of entry-level job for the mundane task, which is repetitive in the nature, where the original thinking is not there. So those all jobs will be taken away. Rather, I will say most of the jobs are already taken away. So let's take an example of an accountant who is a bookkeeping person, who is supposed to do the accounting for all the transaction level entries. So nowadays we are not doing the accounting because entire machine vision, deep learning, machine learning, augmented realities and AI, everything is taking care of the accounting part of it. So particularly in my field, most of the entry level jobs are already gone, but there are two new areas which is opening up. One is the data privacy and data protection, which is DPDP. See, we are a born auditors. I am a chartered accountant by profession. So somebody has to audit the artificial intelligence. So those areas will be open up and they may require a support staff in that case. Audit of an artificial intelligence. So AI could be a biased one. As a human could be a bias, so AI could be a bias. So there was a software which is deployed for the CV filtering and sorting. And it was taking out few people, maybe a person from particular demography, or person from particular creed or color or like that. So there is a lot of biasness when it comes to the, Narendra Modi ji has perfectly gave one example. So all the photos which he generated only have like, so you know that particular example. So like that the AI could be biased one. And there are a lot of ethical considerations also. Because the same ChatGPT is being used by the doctors, same ChatGPT is being used by the CAs and the technical persons and the engineers. So most of the times the answer may not be particularly derived for that profession. So auditing of artificial intelligence could be a new area which is coming up. And another thing which is the data privacy and data protection. As we are dealing with a lot of data, it's on the way. The rules are already there and the audits will be there. Everybody, even if the smallest organization who is, let's take an example of a small restaurant or a lodge or a hotel or a hospital, a small hospital, who is taking the PAN and Aadhaar of that person who is coming there, he will come under the DPDP. And the penalty is 250 crores for breaches of the data privacy. So those are the areas which will definitely going to come up. I'll put it in a simple way. Whatever the job which is easy in a way, they're definitely going to be taken away by the AI and all the things. You have to have an original thinking. All those jobs will be maintained, so it could be a manager level job, not manager, management level jobs. CFO, CTOs and all those people, the policy decision people, those will be intact, but entry level jobs will be gone. I don't want to say anything on that part of it, not a lie from my side, sorry.
So how do we prepare our students? What kind of curriculum in data policy? Because many students, 12th pass, commerce students, graduates are hoping to enter the BPO industry, and then what will be the guidance for them? Currently they are working in BPO, BFSI industries.
As Rajesh sir is here, and Rajesh sir may or may not agree with my opinion on that particular part of it, but you can always correct me sir later. There was an era, because he belongs to education industry, and I am going to put something on the education part of it. There was an era of a specialization, and that is gone. This is not the era of specialization. This is the era of generalization. What I say? I used to say, I used to say in a simple word, chartered accountancy is my wife. She is my wife, and information technology, not IT as income tax. I like income tax also, but information technology is my girlfriend. So I used to like spend time with both of them. So whenever there is a software engineer community में बॉस तू ये गलत कर रहा है, मेरे पेट पे पैर दे रहा है, तू पाइथन क्यों सीख रहा है? मैंने बोला मेरी क्या गलती है इसमें? तू सीख ले इनकम टैक्स। So उसमें वो पंगे हो जाते हैं, फिर बोलता है यार वो बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, तो पाइथन कहाँ इजी है? पाइथन तो मैं सीख ही रहा हूँ ना। So this is more of an area of generalization. The first thing I would like to convey to all the people, there is a concept of major and minor in United States. You have to be expert of two fields, and the deadly combination you could become that cannot be easily replaced. So you can start focusing on the two liking. You have some psychometric tests it seems for career counseling and the guidance and all that people. Because I have seen a professional who is a 40 years age old and he is taking a psychometric test and altogether changing his career, considering the future and his skill sets and everything. So in that way, my first recommendation will be that don't concise yourself to the particular area. You have to have a knowledge of all the areas. So was right, Commissioner sir has rightly said, I have been a keen reader. And he was mentioning a lot about the artificial technology is very fast. ChatGPT is 2.5 years kids. Can you imagine? He's not even completed the 3 years. And he is making such kind of activities which is not humanly possible. As we are dealing with the lots of large volume data and data analytics and all those things, that is the normal time for the particular work will be like, let's say 2 hours. And ChatGPT is able to do that work within a fraction of seconds, not even minutes. So that is one thing I can recommend, and keep learning. That is the only way ahead, because it's very disruptive and you have to keep learning and keep upgrading yourself. We used to say in our era, a chartered accountant with the artificial intelligence will replace a CA without AI. This is today's scenario. 3 months down the line, a chartered accountant with the advanced AI technologies will replace a chartered accountant with the normal AI. And same is applicable to all the fields. Okay.
So now the question to both both of you from academia. Then are we prepared to respond to the industry demands? And nowadays we see in 3 days learn AI. Our students also must have started learning AI. But how do we respond to the emerging industry trend?
I can answer. Before I answer your question, see, before joining Symbiosis, I used to head TPS Pan India schools. Now there is a concept of student-led learning. The teachers come to the class, they just stand in the corner and students are given the floor and they have to actually run the class. So that is what higher education, at least at Symbiosis, since we are a skills university, we do not prescribe. As Commissioner sir was saying, we run some courses in collaboration with PCMC also. And when we have actually conceptualized the courses, we did not prescribe the content or did not prescribe the curriculum. What we did, we actually went to organizations like Tata Motors, Force Motors, Tata Goshan and so on and so forth. And we spoke to them and understood what they want. Came back to the drawing room, built something, went back to them. It went back and forth at least 5-6 times. Till the time we actually fine-tuned the content and we started training students on that. Once that has happened, as the PCMC batch is actually passing out maybe this month, all the students are placed. Not only placed, but I am very proud to say that every student has more than 3 offers. Now, at today's time and date, wherein we do not get jobs, and these are not graduates. Mind, these are not graduates. They are 10th pass or 12th pass students trained on skills which are relevant today. So what I believe is that it is not a certificate. I have been working for 28 years. Nobody has asked me to show my certificate. Say, I say I'm an MBA, so okay, you may be an MBA, it's okay. So nobody has told me to give a certificate. So what matters is that when you go to an organization, you should be able to showcase your skills. So this is what is happening for these girls, all these, we normally train, most of the students are girls. So when they go to the organizations, they have that skill set which is relevant to that particular organization, and that makes life easier for the corporate. Right? Their learning time, their learning cycle, they can hit the ground running on 5th day. Otherwise, since I've been blessed to have been on the both sides of the ground. I have been with corporate for 28 years and with academics for around last 3, 4, 5 years, so I know both. So normally in corporate, when you hire somebody, there's a learning curve of at least 40 days, then only the person is able to do something. These students which we train actually hit the ground running on 5th day. That is what our corporates say. That is the reason they are getting jobs. So my only point I am trying to make here is that degrees, diplomas, certificates, qualifications, A, B, C, D is all good. What we should focus on is skill, what you bring to the table. So I used to head service for IDA Scheduler Maharashtra Goa. People used to come to me for interviews and with a degree like MBA or something else, and you asking 2 questions, not able to answer. On the contrary, there was a person who was a simple graduate, asked me a question, able to answer, able to deliver. We used to hire a person who is a graduate, not a postgraduate. Now what does it say? It says skills matter, not the certificate.
Thank you. Skills matter, not the certificate. We are aligned with this approach. What's your opinion about the short-term courses? Is it feasible to prepare our students from underserved communities with 200-hour course in this for these entry-level jobs? Because
can I answer to your question?
Yeah.
So I would like to give 2-3 pointers to answer to your question. The first thing is that in my last couple of decades of academic career, the one remark which I have heard most frequently from the industry is that there is a gap between academia and industry. Okay. Now add to it the second pointer which I would like to tell, that if we assume the roles of academia and responsibility in this context, that academia is responsible for providing the manpower to the industry, then probably in the learning curve, academia needs to be ahead of the industry, because one student who is seeking admission into a say 3-year, 4-year course is going to be available for the industry 3 years, 4 years down the line. Okay, so from that perspective, actually the academia needs to be ahead of the industry in the learning curve. Okay, so please add the second pointer in the first one, so the gap becomes even more, even bigger. So I think what needs to be done is this cannot be solved unless there is a partnership between academia and industry. Okay, from both the sides of the world, it needs to be looked at from the partnership perspective. Now, whenever we talk about industry academia interaction, just to give you an example, say right now my first year batch, the new batch, is in the induction program of 20 days, and within last 20 days around more than 80 professionals from the industry have already come and interacted with them. But I'm still sure that this interaction is not going to play a very big role, because all of these industry people who came, they came in the personal capacity. Okay, unless there is a partnership at policy level. So whenever these industry people are deputed by the company as a matter of their policy, and which is the policies is related to the partnership between 2 managements, basically, then it becomes more sustainable. So I think the solution to this is that the need of the training should be looked at from both the sides as a policy decision, where a lot of partnership of spending time within an institute as well as in the company needs to be there. Okay, and that time has to be significant. The traditional way of teaching learning in the classroom needs to go as early as possible. Okay, the role of classroom should be limited to a certain extent. Maximum time should be, irrespective of whether the student is in the classroom, in the premises of the company, or sitting at the home, but maximum time must be utilized by the student to work on the live industry projects, the problem statements. So when I say that it is a commitment at policy level, okay, then it becomes responsibility of the industry to share enough number and the better quality of the problem statements with the academia also. Along with this, a huge requirement of shifting the mindset of the academicians along with the management of the academic groups also is very much there. Because unless there is a shift of the mindset, okay, nothing much is going to be constructive in this entire attempt. So I think this partnership is the way to go forward.
Thank you. Very important, this industry and academia partnership. Aditya, what's your opinion?
I just wanted to add, I was listening about academia as well as industry. So, there is this one very famous sort of a competition that takes place in California. It's the SAE, which is like, Society of Aeronautical Engineers. They come together and they sort of build aircrafts. There was something similar that was taking place in Delhi a few years back, wherein all these colleges, they perform in this, so it's like a competition. So that is something that I would like to propose. I mean, if we have something like BCMC drone competition, where you have all the colleges participating, and then it's like a 2-day event wherein they get graded. So see, my personal experience while getting talent into the company is, as I mentioned, it's talent, and as Sir mentioned, like, these courses aren't available. You can't build a drone after opening a textbook. You can definitely design a nut. You can design whatever you want using a textbook, but not a drone. This data is available on ChatGPT, it's available on Google, it's available on YouTube. But I mean, until the curiosity hits the particular person, he's not going to open that content. And unless he doesn't open that content and he doesn't go through the grind of building a drone, that like, we aren't looking for people who haven't done that till now, right? So if we have more such competitions wherein you challenge the kid as well as the college to come across with a team who can build a drone. See, per college you have around 10-15 students who know about the drone technology completely. That I think would increase the interest overall, and I think it would make a massive change. These competitions, like, I mean, you can have the best team in Pimpri competing with Chinchwad, with, I mean, Anup sir can have one. We can, like how we have IPL and we have MPL, we can have a drone Premier League too. Because, I mean, in most of the countries abroad, especially in Europe as well as in America, there are many such events which are sort of pushing their civilization and their population to sort of focus more onto development, and development through competition is the best. I think you can't force someone to study something, but you can sort of challenge them to do it. So yeah.
So to all of you, I want to ask one more question. We all are working towards developing the course in AI for entry-level professional. So what's your guidance? And these are young people from underserved communities, from slums with developmental backlogs. They are not the toppers in the school, and they will be with us for 200 hours. And we want to teach them AI. So, as industry experts, as leaders from academia, what would be the direction to all the skilling partners who are working on this curriculum?
And just to add to it, if I may interject, sorry Amruta, this is also in the background of the fact that China, for example, has started to teach so-called AI from class 1. I don't know what they're teaching. It might just be pure just logic and then building onto it, and that's all.
Yeah, so see, we should not actually go the red hat way. We had a startup which said we start teaching coding to students. So let me give a personal example. We have to understand, before I give the example, let me tell you, you have to understand the intent and the interest of the student. Don't force, when you are mobilizing or getting students on board, ensure that they want to do this. Just because we want to train somebody in AI, don't train them on AI. So coming to the example, I have 2 daughters. My elder daughter loves maths, she scored 99% in maths. My younger daughter almost failed in maths. So that is the problem. So now, if I force my younger daughter to do something in maths, she will definitely fail in her life. Now, this applies to these kids also. Please ensure that if you are enrolling them for AI or any other thing, while enrolling them, we have to be very sure about what they want to do. Just because we have an AI course and we want to train somebody in AI and we have a mandate of training 5,000 students in AI, we should not do that.
Yeah, that we completely understand. The interest of a young person is of prime.
That is very essential. Coming to what we should train on AI, I think we can train people on AI in 200 hours. That should not be an issue if they have the basic intellect, basic intelligence. So again, at Symbiosis, we are very strict about onboarding students. We do not take anybody and anybody. We actually turn away students. For example, if we have 60 students to be onboarded on a course, we get around 1,500 applications. So out of 1,500 applications, we shortlist around 225 students. Out of 225, we take 60 students. So now you understand the kind of rigor we put into the system so that these 60 students actually complete the course because they are interested in doing the course. And once they complete the course, they get the jobs and they stay in the jobs. Same applies to this also. If you're asking about AI, first is that ensure that they want to do AI. Second is, yes, the question is, yes, AI can be done in 200 hours. And understandably, the basic intellect and basic IQ of the student is there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so to answer to your question, I will again like to take a thread from what I said earlier. So the basic assumption on which we always work is that industry is ahead than academia. So I think let's accept that fact. Okay, and then I was talking about the partnership. So what we can do is, if we want to make it sustainable, probably the first step in this entire model should be the teacher training. To make the teacher, because let's accept the fact that today most of the teachers are not capable to teach the new age technologies. Okay, so AI being point in the discussion, probably most of the teachers are not. So I don't want to say that they don't understand AI or they don't know AI, but from the perspective of the industry need, probably they are not equipped enough. So if this model needs to be made more robust, probably the first step needs to be the teacher training. And from that perspective, I think once this teacher training is ensured and the training by the teachers to the students start, okay, the entire model of teaching to the students should be based on the live projects. Okay, and for doing this, the close association with the industry is absolutely necessary. Now again, I would like to come to one point. In certain way, I would like to differ from the opinion of Anup sir, that yes, there is a need of being generalistic in understanding and approach, but when we talk about this partnership, we can be highly specific, specialization oriented also. So when we are talking about close interaction between industry and academia, it may not be practically possible for an institute to be in contact with n number of industries. Okay, so there can be certain number of companies, certain number of sectors which are in close coordination with the academia. So for one institute, it may be at the best possible to cater to specific requirements. So from that perspective, we can be specialization oriented, we can be more specific. Okay, and if we do that, probably we will be able to cater to the specific needs of the industry in a much better way.
In terms of 200 hours of program, if you're asking for, there are two aspects of AI. One is how to build an AI, and one is how to use an AI. So I mean, you could sort of divide it into that. Building an AI, obviously you need some other skills in it. So you could just ponder onto those type of skills. And using an AI, I mean, currently the focus should be on using AI, because everyone over here is educated. Everyone has some background. Someone's an architect, someone's an artist, someone's a mechanical engineer, someone's an IT engineer. All of them can use AI. All of them can build an AI. It's as simple as talking to someone, right? I mean, and there's a difference between automatic and AI. Like most of the times people confuse between automatic and artificial intelligence. I mean, you automatically hoge matlab AI. There's a difference, right? So we can sort of teach students and candidates on how to differentiate between what artificial intelligence is and how to build one and how to use one. If you tackle that issue, then I think anyone can build AI and anyone can be using AI. So I mean, that's the main aspect, right?
Amruta ma'am, कब बैठना है? वो करिकुलम फाइनल करने के लिए कब बैठना है? That was the question. आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा, मैंने वापस क्वेश्चन पूछा आपको. So I'd like to start with, we Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, in last 10 months, we have already trained 25,000 plus chartered accountants all over India in a physical classroom training. And the content was drafted, I was closely working on that part of it. Now we are coming with a level 2, all this agentic AI, RAG models and everything. So the point here is, why I gave this particular reference, it's always about the problem statement and a solution. So now we are drafting a curriculum for the students. Okay, so we need to understand the problem statement of the student. The first problem statement could be a study. They have to go through a lot of study, then the presentations are there. So accordingly we can include the tool, and it's not about the tool, it's about the use cases. So I'll just give you 3 reference example. There is a very good tool called Google LM Notebook. It's a LLM, large language model, which can be customized. You can have the control over the data. So you can put all your books there and you can start asking the question, it will answer. It's like a personal tutor kind of thing. And it has an interactive mode also. It will create a podcast for you. So such kind of tools can be added to the curriculum. There is another tool called Gamma. Gamma will help for preparing the presentations, because they have to go through a lot of presentations, they have to make their own CVs, they have to put the research papers and everything. So that can be definitely added to this. There is a tool called Gemini. Gemini everyone is aware, but Gemini has recently introduced the connector model. So Gemini can talk to your Google Calendar, Google Task, Google Keep and all the Google products. So let's put it this way, you put an index page of your book which you want to study and you want to schedule the 3 months planning for the study. So you just ask a ChatGPT, please prepare me a plan in Excel for all this, okay? And you can immediately upload that Excel plan through a Gemini to a Google Calendar. So the entire schedule for next study plan of 6 months can be immediately done. Well, I used to take a lot of flights in a month, so 12-14 flights. I simply used to upload all the boarding passes and it will update my calendar in a way, so all my flights, all my check-in times and everything is available there. So another phone tool which has recently become free, if you are aware. The Perplexity has recently free with the Airtel. Whoever using the Airtel connection, the Perplexity Pro, which is, thank you sir, and which is very good. We call it a Google replacement. Perplexity is a Google replacement nowadays and it comes with a deep research feature. So you want to search something on that particular part, it will go to, let's say deep research, it will go to 90 to 150 sites at a time, and within a fraction of 20 or 10 minutes it will give you a deep report on that part. So such kind of tools can be definitely added to the curriculum, and I would again come ahead and say that I would definitely like to contribute into this great activity of yours. So if you are okay. Obviously, however, I cannot push you there.
No, it means a lot. As our commissioner also said, this is just a beginning. 1 year from now, we will, we will have students who have completed the curriculum, who are placed, and it will not be possible without the support of all of you. Thank you very much. We will conclude the panel here, and we will request our CEO Anuja to felicitate all the panelists.